One of the earliest definitions of magic is the art of influencing events and producing marvels using hidden natural forces. I know that most people don't believe in magic, but what if I told you that we all perform magic simply by speaking and writing words? As if the world wasn't bizarre enough as it is, you will now learn that the words we choose to use in our everyday thoughts have magical elements to them, and you are casting spells when you speak and write. It is the art of directing and controlling energy with a spoken word. Words that transform into frequencies and vibrations that can be used to direct energy. Numbers have magical elements also. In fact, the numeral and alphabet system were created based on sacred geometry and sacred sound, and therefore, numbers and letters have magical properties to them. The art of magic is often practiced with certain sacred magnetic words. These sound tones have powerful vibrational patterns, which are used to direct and control energy, and allows you to harness its power if you know what you are doing. Sound is one of the natural forces used by nature to create crystalline structures and sacred geometries, which are some of the building blocks of matter. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In most cultures, the Word is equated with God. The world and the Word are only an L apart. God created the world with the Word. The Watchers, the fallen angels that were cast out of heaven by God, dominate and control this world by using hidden magical forces. The world is being dominated by magical forces. Until you learn how magic is being used to control you, you will never know how the world really works. One example is through the careful construction of the English language, designed and put together in a way that produces magical effects and can manipulate those who are unaware of the word's true meaning. A very handy tool for those who wish to control you. Here is a great example of how words are used to cast spells without us even being aware of it. By Laurel Erica. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn a living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. This seems perfectly acceptable to most people, but remember that a wake is a social gathering associated with death held before a funeral. Mourning is the state you are in grief over someone's death, and you would have to be in a weekdays to earn a living, since urns are for the ashes of the dead. We call our jobs undertakings. The word also can mean the profession of funeral management. The word job is a Hebrew word for persecuted. We get the weak end of the deal as we become weakened ourselves. We are not taught this form of magic because it has been hidden from us by the kings and rulers of this world, from our past and our present. The purpose of this is to prevent you from knowing the true intention of language and the powers that we all truly possess inside. The dark forces have been controlling people's life perceptions using magical spells for a very long time now. Their magic spells cannot control 100% of your mind, but they do affect your mind more than you may realize. Just like how subliminal message can affect your subconscious to a large degree. When you speak or write words, you are casting your thoughts and vibrations into the Earth's magnetic field, or magic field, or ether, which is the energy field that helps create and shape your reality of Earth. If you are not careful with what you say or think, you can actually cast a spell without even being aware of it. Have you ever wondered why one of the first things they teach you to do in school is learn how to spell? You are taught the alphabet and how to count numbers, which are designed using sacred geometry and sacred sound. These letters and numbers are ideograms, which are written symbols that represent ideas. After learning the alphabet, you are taught how to spell using the letters of the alphabet. Why do you think they call it spelling? Because you are casting spells when you speak or write. After learning how to spell words, you are taught to cast those spellings into sentences. The term sentence in law refers to punishment. For example, when you curse or use swear words, you are creating and directing your negative energy, and that could lead to many negative outcomes, such as violence, emotional suffering, anxiety, and many other harmful situations. And that's why they call it cursing, because you are casting a spell with those cursing words that cut like a sword. On the other hand, when you say or think positive and loving words, you are creating and directing a positive loving energy. When you say the words, "I love you," or "I think you're a wonderful human being," for example, you are casting a loving spell that transfers your good vibrations to the other person and can activate beautiful euphoric feelings. The most powerful thing in the world is loving energy. The dark forces have been trying for a very long time now to suppress this beautiful energy that our Creator gave us, and have been manipulating and corrupting everything they could get their hands on. But one thing they cannot control is your free will to love. Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why they call it spelling. Bruce Lee. Dr. Emoto created a famous experiment with water and reports that water is a blueprint for our reality, and that emotional energies and vibrations could change its physical structure. His water crystal experiments consisted of exposing water in glasses to various words, pictures or music, then freezing and examining the ice crystal properties with microscopic photography. He claims that water exposed to positive speech and thoughts created visually pleasing ice crystals, and that negative intentions yielded ugly ice formations. The word occult means secret or knowledge of the hidden. Its early masters were regarded as true magicians. Discoveries in the occult arts of astrology and alchemy gave birth to modern science. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. We can trace the occult teachings back 5,000 years ago in Egypt. The Egyptians believed that this knowledge was given to them by Thoth, the Egyptian god of magic, who is said to have given the world writing, language, and numbers. Legends held that a book of magic written by Thoth contained the secrets of the gods. This book was considered to be in the astral plane, not physical, but something we have to travel in consciousness to get to. Much of what is called ceremonial magic, such as casting spells, the use of magic words, and incantations, comes from the ancient Egyptians. Phoenicians learned this knowledge and then began to spread it throughout the Mediterranean world. Words and magic were in the beginning one and the same thing, and even today, words retain much of their magical power. We know that Hollywood, a druidic establishment, located in the city of Los Angeles, is a place where magic happens in the movie and music industry. And it's interesting that real magic wands are made out of Hollywood from a holly tree, and this originates from the ancient Druids. A Druid was a member of the elite ranking class, and this society dates back to ancient Celtic cultures. They are best remembered as religious leaders. They were also legal authorities, adjudicators, lore keepers, medical professionals, political advisors. Does this sound familiar so far? Druids are riddled with mysticism and magic, and are said to have contact with the spirit world. Some theorize that the ancient Druids built Stonehenge, given their reverence for it, as well as other sacred monolithic sites. This picture from 1832 depicts Druids preparing a wickerwork filled with live humans to be burned and sacrificed. It would surprise many to learn that the famous Winston Churchill and William Blake were both Druids. How to protect yourself from secret spells. Once you are aware and cautious of the words you choose to use, then you will begin to protect yourself from negative energies. Start paying attention to the trickery behind words. Find the origins of a word, dissect its layers, and look at it from many different angles. The true intent and meanings of the word magically become noticeable in your mind. So next time you look up a definition of a word, do not only look at its face value, but also look at its origins, prefix, and suffix. This is very useful information for you to keep in mind and apply to the real world. Once you realize that magic is real and become aware of how an elite evil empire of dark magicians are using magic spells to control you, then their magic spells lose their effects. Your awareness is one of the most important spiritual powers that you have. Learn how to use it wisely, and the dark magicians will not be able to control you. To learn how to use the power of your awareness wisely, you need to learn the right knowledge. With the right knowledge, you could learn to use your energy in ways that you would never imagine to be possible.